everything, with the COVID shutdowns. And I think that even parents, even if you were okay with all of that, when you have these parents who are not understanding why their kids can't go back to school unless they get a booster shot and are able to examine the real data, they're just going, what is this? What are you saying? What are you doing to my child? Why are you making me choose between my child completing his education one more semester for some people? I would get all of these emails. It's just one more month of school. I don't know what to do. I'm not comfortable doing this with my child. And people are going, wait a second, what a weird predicament to put a parent in. Like, you no longer have authority over your child. And it becomes, and then when parents don't want to submit to that, the narrative is that they're horrible people, that they're harming their children, that, the state needs to take further steps. California, we know what we need to do? We need to have 12-year-olds. We need to ordain 12-year-olds with the power to override their parents and with the power to put chemicals in their body because the parents no longer matter. That is for the first, I think at least that it's the first time that the American government has done that they've turned on us. And it becomes very easy to then think, okay, if they have the audacity and the willingness to lie on us, about who we are as people. They have the audacity to call all of us anti-vaxxers. They're calling people that got 3 shots anti-vaxxers. Like, they're calling, if you're looking at the news today, Eric Clapton, who is a musician, got both of his shots, had a bad reaction, and spoke out about it, right? And he has been speaking out about it, saying I don't even know why I did this, and none of this is making any sense. And they are now running wall-to-wall coverage, calling Eric Clapton, an anti-vaxxer and all of these things. I mean, read what they are saying about him. And they're doing all of this, which is, in my opinion, it's like a figurative lynching. It's like it's a journalistic lynching. It's to smear and to libel so many well-meaning people and to not even allow people to ask questions, right? We're watching in real time. They're changing definitions. They're pretending that yesterday didn't happen. They say one thing yesterday, then they say something today. And the moment that they say it today, they send out fact checkers and censorship lords to say, oh, no, that didn't happen. That's not what happened. You're crazy. Don't believe your own eyes. We're seeing censorship for the first time. That's so abundantly clear, right? Like, so abundantly clear that we have censorship, which is why earlier I did that video saying hey man, isn't that crazy? I can say a word and I know that you're not allowed to share this. You can't share it. They will not allow you to echo what I have said. The conversation must stop here. And it's scary. It's a scary thing to realize, to grow up believing so much in your system of government and to, I guess, being naive and sort of believing in the American fairy tale story and now questioning the motives. But it's a good kind of scary in my opinion, because I think that it empowers us all to individually become more educated, right? So now we know you're not our friend, okay? Now we know that you don't want us to have any control over our children. Now we know that you don't want us to have control over our bodies. Now all of these people that years ago I would have thought were wacky, crazy, crunchy, all of these things. Oh, they're just hippie, crunchy moms that are trying to be all of this. It's all starting to make sense. And I'm starting to look more into that stuff. People asking me about fluoride, all of this stuff. And there's a lot there. There is a lot there, but it took me 3 years even to get to this point. It's taken me 3 years to research this stuff because history has fundamentally been wiped off of our webs. We are not allowed to access certain websites. You have to access government documents in other countries to be able to verify these things. That is how successful this campaign has been. That is how much ownership there has been over information in the past. And who suffers because of it? Our children. Our children are the ones that are suffering because of this. And so when people say, what gave you the strength to speak out? It's not even my strength. There is just this mama bear fire that has been burning inside of me, and it burns hotter and hotter every single day that I see my son grow up. Like, every little amazing thing he does, there is nothing that is worth staying silent on these matter. There's just nothing, it's not even about, they can't silence us all. They can't silence us all, right? So I have a platform. I'm going to use it to inform as many people as possible about the evils that are going on. And I hope that, for the mothers that can't process this, for the mothers that, it's hard to change your mind. I get it. I lived my whole life believing things to be one way until I myself was injured, right? And then I started realizing how hard it was to find any real information. And I started realizing how willing people were willing to call me, who had every vaccine in my entire life and jumped into a chair to get, 3 more vaccines for HPV, vaccine hesitant, anti-vaxxer, these awful pejoratives, when in reality, people should be saying, are you okay? In reality, there should be a payout for all these people that have been harmed. Look at the comments on my last post of how many women have been harmed. I mean, 3 people in my family had bad reactions to that shot, in my own family, right? And so you don't have to go far to realize, do you really believe that this many mothers are lying? You have to be a conspiracy theorist to believe that this many people are just making this up for attention, right? Like, oh, we're just all pretending that something bad happened. And I don't know. I just feel like the time is now. I feel like we're all sort of realizing that there's a lot more to the story, and that it's entirely plausible that everything has been a lie, that everything has been a business, and that we have just been, I guess, existing in this idealistic realm of American idealism. I mean, that's really what it is, American idealism. And that's not to say that I don't believe in America. I very much believe in the principles of our founding fathers. I very much believe that, you know, without this sort of crony capitalism and this overreach of the federal government into our households, that we are a great country, that we are fundamentally a really good country. But things have gone completely haywire. And the only way to get this train back on the tracks is by parents stepping up to the plate and not being fearful. Who cares if they call you a name? I don't care at all. Literally, I said the other day on my stories, which is true, that I took colloidal silver. I mean, that I take colloidal silver. I take a teaspoon every day. This is amazing. I take a teaspoon of colloidal silver every single day. Colloidal silver was the number one thing handed out by doctors forever until they discovered antibiotics. And then they did this huge campaign to erase colloidal silver because it's just a house. You can just buy it in your house. It's nothing. They can't earn any money. You can't just say, oh, silver we own. And they keep pretending that if you drink 1 teaspoon of silver, you're going to turn blue. It's so bogus. It's insane. And yet they ran headlines saying that I'm urging my supporters to drink colloidal silver to turn themselves blue. I mean, it's insane. Like, they don't want you to do anything at all, even if it's something that they told you to do before they discovered a pharmaceutical drug. And so I don't care what I get called, anti-vaxxer. I don't care if I get called crunchy. I don't care what anybody says about me, because I know that I am doing the right thing. I know that mothers will watch this and they will do the right thing. And that, you know, kids, I believe that children's lives will be saved. And that means the world to me. I really do believe that more children's lives will be saved the more that their parents are informed about various things. And if there's anything that you guys want to ask me, where do you get colloidal? So you can just buy it online. It's literally, I mean, yes, if you drink a tub of colloidal silver every day, you will turn actually silver and blue. But there is no doctor and no scientist. It is in so many products. I use colloidal silver. Like, my son has any type of, like, he had allergic conjunctivitis because we had a tornado in Tennessee. I know that sounds totally random, but we get tornadoes down here, and we had to all go into the basement because it got really bad, and we were like in this very dusty room, and came out, we both were having like itchy eyes. So he had allergic conjunctivitis, and the first thing I did obviously was I called my doctor, and he's like, oh, I'll call him in a prescription for this. I think it was a steroid or antibiotic. And fortunately, the CVS was like, oh, it's not going to be here for 3 days. And we had this old woman who watches Georgie. She's like a grandma. She literally has like 27 grandkids. And she's like, oh, you just put some colloidal silver on it and it'll go away. And put some honey on it. Literally, we put honey, colloidal silver, and I forgot what else it was on his eye. It cleared up within 36 hours. It was incredible. And I was like, wow, I was going to use an entire prescription of something. And you can look it up. You know, you could always look up natural remedies for these things. I'm a big believer in natural remedies. If there's nothing that is a death sentence or immediate, I don't see a reason not to try something that's more organic and natural. You know, I stay away from antibiotics. I don't like pills. That's just how I feel. It's like, I don't want to put anything harsh into my body if I don't have to. And so that's why I answered that question that somebody asked earlier, like, are you anti-medicine? No, I'm not anti-medicine, but I'm also not pro-medicine. I think that there's a healthy balance there. You know, if you need to take medicine, great, then do it. If you don't need to take medicine and you can get natural remedies, then do that too. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not, if it's not like, you know, get a prescription or die, then why don't you try something a little healthier for yourself? That's not, to me, that's not even medical advice. It's kind of common sense. You know what I mean? So I don't know why that is suddenly controversial. Like, literally, they tried to smear me an article saying that I urged people to take colloidal silver. Like, no, I didn't. I just told you I take a teaspoon of colloidal silver a day. I like it. I don't know. I think it helps. So Yeah, somebody is dropping what it's called, probiotics. Yeah, I think my gut was completely ruined. And so I have really bad acid reflux. Actually, someone was really kind to send me some more natural remedies for that and said that actually I probably need more acid. And I had actually read a bit about that. She said that I should take magnesium, which I do take, but I think she was talking about a different type of magnesium. So, silver kills. I'm not even going to read that because I'll promise you Daily Beast will write another headline and saying Candace said this. Yeah, fluoride creeps me out that in the 90s they used to like sit around and make us all drink capfuls of fluoride. Now that I know about it, in school, like when I was in 5th grade, they used to come like every Wednesday and they would make us take capfuls of fluoride, which is totally terrifying. Everyone's asking where you can buy Clotho Silver from. You can literally buy it on Amazon. I don't know where mine is. You can buy Clotho Silver on Amazon. Read all about it. I'm not advertising for you to take it for COVID, which is what the article made it sound like. I am just saying that it is a natural remedy that's good to have on hand. It's good for cuts. It's good. The doctors use it for burns, for scrapes. Like I said, it's totally, you can drink a teaspoon of it. You can put it on your skin. Totally, totally harmless. But please don't drink 8 bottles of it and turn blue. Ridiculous, right? Natural remedies for the win. My kids have never had fluoride. I just switched away from fluoride. And also they just recently did another switch, which you should look for. I think it's called Stana something. I'm not a dentist. That is in all of the products now as well. I don't know. It's Stana something, and you should look out for that. Baking soda. I freaking love baking soda. Yeah, I was just saying the other day that I take, now because I have acid reflux. My husband always makes this apple cider vinegar, baking soda combination. It's totally disgusting, and water in the morning. Also harmless. You can take apple cider vinegar, guys. We take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in my house. Can't wait for the articles tomorrow that say I'm telling you guys to all take apple cider vinegar. These are all natural things that exist in your house, that have so many different causes. And I actually bought a book on this, natural remedies and stuff like that, because I'm trying to learn more about plants and plant medicine, because so much of it is what's in prescriptions, and but they don't want you to really know that. So it's just good to understand what you have laying around that can do the trick for various things, that might help. So okay, anyways, that is kind of, if there's any more questions I will answer. I'm keeping notes. You talked so fast. I know I do talk fast. Look into food intolerance for reflux. I know, honestly, the issue is that I love spicy food. So there's that. Somebody brought up the infertility thing, and I was very clear yesterday in my stories that I am only offering an opinion here, and it's something that I've spoken about extensively, that I just find it to be very weird that, a couple of generations ago, my grandfather was one of 12, literally one of 12 brothers and sisters. And now we just see so many women that are struggling to have even one. And it doesn't make sense to me. And there has to be something, whether it's an environmental factor, whether it's, the toxins and the chemicals that exist in our food today that don't exist back then, whether it's the fact that we're, taking hormones every day. A lot of women are taking hormones every day from the time that they're 12, 13 years old. There has to be some contributing factor, to all the fertility issues that women are having. And I do try to be really conscious about what I'm putting into my body. I'm not saying I'm a total health junkie. But even if I eat something that's not healthy, I wanted to make sure that it's real food, and it's why I'm getting into growing my own vegetables and things of that nature, because I want to know where my food comes from, and I don't think that it's stupid to want to know those answers, and I certainly don't trust science, to genetically make my food and tell me that it's going to be totally fine, because we can feed more people that way, to genetically modify my food or anything like that. So yeah, I talked about birth control pill a couple of days ago. I didn't take it. I took it for 2 weeks, and I just felt like the weird campaign that happens when you're a kid. It's you go to the doctor and you're like, my tooth hurts. Birth control. You're like, what? Oh, it'll help. You're like, I have a pimple. Birth control. It'll help. You know what I mean? My stomach hurts. Birth control. It can help. And I just got really creeped out by that. I was just sort of okay, this pill can't really solve all of my issues. And if it really did help with acne, why aren't you giving it to men? Why can't men take this pill, and why can't it help with their acne? And I just felt very much that there was a bit of a weird push about it. And so after taking it for 2 weeks to be cool and grown up, I just decided not to take it anymore. And I've kind of been hormone adverse forever, for better or for worse. I think for better. I know a lot of people were asking me to talk about SIDS. I am going to share information as soon as I get off. Yeah, guys, do your research. That's all I can say about that. Yeah, bring back American values and morals. And I think a part of that is just us being independent and more educated within our own households and more capable. I think bringing back capability is a big thing. We should not be able to, if they turned off the entire power grid, would you be able to sustain yourself in your household? And that's kind of the perspective that I have. Would you know if they turned off all the electricity, how to treat a cut, how to treat a burn, and if it was just you in the wild, if it was an episode of Survivor, would you know what to do? And these are good skills to have in general. And we should all move toward that, because they definitely don't have our best interests at heart. Certainly not the best interests of our children at heart. So, anyways, just wanted to speak it to you guys really quickly, tell you what's on my heart and mind, and thank you guys for all the support over the last couple of days as we kind of jump down this rabbit hole. I don't know how long it's going to last. Who knows? We know the power of Big Pharma. They disappear a lot of people, but I have no regrets. Thanks, guys.